know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Today's video is gonna be a little bit of a different video. Usually I wouldn't do this, but it got me thinking that recently I've been helping out one of my friends, try to get better at Call of Duty, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to make a video about that. So in this video, I want to go over some ways to make yourself better at Call of Duty. So let's start off right from the beginning. So first of all, you have to have the right gear. Now, you don't have to spend, hundreds of dollars on your setup or, spend all the top money on things. Save up for things if you want them. So if you want a really good headset or a good controller or something, save up for that stuff and you'll get it eventually. Now, the first thing I do want to say is you should have definitely a good controller. Now, I don't just mean the normal, default, Xbox, PlayStation controller. I mean either get yourself a cinch controller, which I am partnered with. So if you do, use code JHoyt for, I think it's 5 or 10% off. Or, get a Scuff. It's the same type of thing. Cinch has buttons, Scuff has paddles. Or if you know how to play Claw, you can play Claw. But also have a wired controller, no matter what it is. I know both sites have wired options to them. So make sure you get a wired controller because that definitely helps. And from a person that's had both a Scuff and a cinch, even though I'm partnered with cinch, even if I wasn't, I would still pick cinch over Scuff. And that's just my personal opinion, but if you like Scuffs more, then you like Scuffs more. So that's up to you, but I'd say definitely get yourself a good controller. Second of all, I'd say have a good monitor. Now, if you're a person that just plays Call of Duty casually and sits back on your couch, 10 feet from the TV, and you don't really care about doing well, you're just playing to have fun, that doesn't really help you. But if you want to play and play smart and play, competitive and, get better, I'd suggest sitting close, first of all. And I don't mean have your eyeballs, your nose touching the screen, but sit at like a good foot or two away if you don't feel comfortable in that. Sit at your comfortable distance and have a good monitor. Now, I personally have, I think it's an Asus monitor. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's just something I've had for a while now, so I don't really have a problem with it. I'd like to get a little bit of a better one. There's BenQ and I don't remember the other names, but there's a bunch of good monitors out there. So, look around for what fits you the best. Third on my list is have a good headset. Now, if you want to play with, those like basic headphones that come with like iPods and stuff like that, that's up to you. Whatever you find comfortable. I personally use the Turtle Beach Elite Pros. I've had Astros before. I definitely prefer the Turtle Beaches. Again, not sponsored, but I do prefer the Turtle Beach over the Astros personally. But again, whatever fits your comfortability level and what you want to spend and what you want to play. Fourth thing on my list, part of have the right gear, is have a good chair. Now, this one's kind of funny because I just got my brother one of these, but as you guys may know, I'm partnered with Sport, and obviously they make chairs, and I personally have a chair, and you can use code JHoyt for, I think it's 5 or 10% off as well, and get yourself a good chair there. And there's DX Racers, there's I don't remember the other ones, but I know there's a few. DX Racer, Sport, there's a couple other ones, but obviously I'd prefer Sport because that's the only one I've really owned other than like a Staples chair. But those four things, if you have a good your setup and the right gear, that's the first part of the issue, right? If you're playing 10 feet away from your screen, not playing with a headset, using a Connect mic, sitting in a rocking chair, sitting back on your couch, that's probably not the best option because obviously you want to be close to the action. If you see a guy, you want to react. And instead of sitting, on your couch or in a chair, 6 feet from your screen, maybe move a little bit closer so that way your eyes can be on the entire screen at the same time. Forgot to mention, with the monitor thing, don't play on a TV. Now, those are for casual gamers, right? I used to play on TV until I got my setup. But I suggest don't play on TV. Try to get a monitor of some sort. I personally have, I think it's a 24-inch. They come in all different sizes, so find the one that fits you. But as far as your entire setup, build it around you. So whatever you like and what you're comfortable with, build it around that. Now that you got your setup done and you have what you want, I'd suggest obviously playing the game. Plain and simple. Play the game. But most importantly, learn the game. Now you can't learn the game without playing it. Now you can go in, custom games and play with bots and think you're the greatest thing ever. But as soon as you get into those public matches and get into ranked play, league play, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna not do well at all. So my suggestion is play the core game modes. Now, if you know what core is, it's just regular, public matches, because there is such thing as hardcore, which has like limited health, and there's no heads-up display, you don't regen health or something. I don't know. I don't play hardcore because I've never, it doesn't help me, right? Killing someone in one bullet doesn't make you better at killing someone with 3 or 4 bullets. So, in my opinion, play game modes like hardpoint, domination, search and destroy, those types of game modes, because those will definitely help you. Now, you might get super frustrated at first because you're gonna constantly die in the game, but learn from that. If you learn how to play the game inside the game, you'll learn what to do and what not to do. Avoid hardcore game modes completely, right? I mean, if you're into hardcore casual gaming, then you know what? Go nuts. But just avoid playing hardcore because it does not help you get better, and killing someone in 1 bullet, doesn't help you at all. I mean, yes, there's a sniper rifle, but, unless you're doing challenges, then I guess go play hardcore. But if you want to get better at the game and get better at winning gunfights, get better at positioning yourself, get better at whatever, play core game modes, play hardpoint, play domination, play search and destroy, basically play the competitive game modes. I know domination isn't a competitive game mode anymore, but play hardpoint especially. That's probably the #1, game mode I tell you to play. Then play domination just to get the use to the maps and how to rotate the map, and what way is a good way to push, what way is not. Just learn the maps. That's another good thing. Learn the maps, learn the competitive maps, learn the non-competitive maps, but just learn everything you can about the game. It'll definitely help you in the long run. Thing, some people may disagree with this one, but I'm putting in the list, use the good guns, basically. So obviously you guys know I am mostly an optic fan. Obviously they've been struggling a little bit recently. Well, I'm not mostly an optic fan, I'm definitely an optic fan, but recently I've been struggling, and I've tried to watch more teams, including or more than optic, obviously, just to see what other teams are up to, because even though I'm an optic fan 100%, but I'd like to see what other teams are doing, what they're using, how they're playing, where do they go on rotations, how do they play, and just learn from that into my own personal game. So even when optic's struggling, if a team's doing better than them, why are they doing better than them? So are they out rotating, out positioning, what is it? So when you have those good guns and you're playing competitive, you obviously want the best guns in the game in your hands. You don't want, some of the lower tier weapons that don't shoot as fast, or don't have the same recoil, or have worse recoil, or whatever the case is. You don't want to have worse guns than the people you're playing against. Next thing is practice your mistakes. So if you're getting outgunned by a certain head glitch, or if you're getting outgunned in certain situations, you're being too aggressive, or whatever the case is, practice that. So if you keep going to the same spot on the same map every single time, and you're playing against good people, they're gonna recognize that and be like, okay, I'm gonna pre-aim this lane because this person always runs through it. So you know what? Good players are going to take advantage of that all day long. So practice what you're doing wrong and fix it. Next thing is something I struggle myself in, more than just Call of Duty and NHL and Fortnite and whatever other games I play. It's don't get mad at the game for your own mistakes. And that's something, like I said, I do terribly. And I always play in the game, connection, he should have died, I put more bullets in him, whatever the case is, right? I do that all the time, so I'm kind of a hypocrite in that sense, but it's something that I'm trying to fix. Obviously, every day I play, and every day I'm trying to get better at playing Call of Duty. But don't get mad at the game, obviously, like I said, practice your mistakes, get better at what you're doing. Last thing I have on my list is don't play older Call of Duty games, because every Call of Duty game is completely different. So the jetpack era Call of Duties are completely different than the boots on the ground ones, and old boots on the ground ones are completely different than the current boots on the ground games. So hopefully after all of these great tips by me, hopefully it helps you out. And let me know if it does down in the comment section below, and let me know if you have any tips that you found that works better for you than the things on my list. So you know, hopefully you can take some of my advice and everyone can just get better as Call of Duty. We can have a lot better competition in game. If you have enjoyed, hit that like button down below if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body so I can take you wherever. Like, I want you forever, even when we're not together. Scars on my body, I can look at you and